Hi guys, thanks so much for
Both those
joining.
ladies have content planners.
Yeah. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining. We're super excited today. I'm here with one of my best friends, Gaskin. She's also an entrepreneur. So we've been hanging out at my place all day. Her, me, and our other friend Brandy, we decided to make our little DIY co-working space in my loft, and we were working together. And then we thought, why not just pop up and share some tips with you guys today? So today we're going to talk about how to help you stay organized and productive as an entrepreneur, and just kind of shoot some ideas. And if you have any questions, let us know. So if you're here, I want to hear you say hello. If you're here, say hello. Awesome to see that you're signing up for the collective. That's so exciting. And if you're watching this on the replay, also say hi, say hello. I love to see who's watching on the replay, and I will stop by and say hi. So we're just going to spitball back and forth and see what really happens. But I think for me, a big thing, I haven't always been the most organized person, to be honest. I definitely was not super organized when I started my business, and I feel like my business started in a really organic way. I was just like, hey, I want to talk about personal development and I want to inspire people, so I guess I'll start a blog. And then after I got it rolling and I realized, oh my gosh, this is a business, like I need to know what I'm doing before I actually do it. What I've done is I've actually planned out my whole year ahead of time. I started using this tool called Asana, so it's online, and it's so cool because now I know what content I want to put out, what courses I want to put out, what Good Morning Beautifuls I want to write before I put them out, so that now as I'm moving through the year, it's not a matter of, oh my God, what should I do? It's just a matter of, okay, this is what I do next, go in, execute, and then it's done. I don't have to overthink. I don't have to worry about decision making. And thanks so much for the hearts, guys. We really appreciate it. And if you have a friend also who's not very organized and needs this, hit the share button. We'd love to see it shared with more people.
Yeah, I think my story is a little bit different. I didn't wake up and think like, oh, I want to do this, this, and this. I think by nature, I'm such an organized person. Even from a little kid, I needed like my markers in order of Roy Bib, like red, orange, yellow, green. Yeah. I'm a graphic designer by trade, and so staying organized, having things in a grid system, aligned, straight, everything, that's just in my nature. And I'm 30 years old, and it's just been like that my whole entire life. When I first quit my job, I wanted to always have something to do, and what I did was I just made to-do lists, and I assigned myself projects, like dream projects of what I wanted to be doing. For example, I would love to work with Lululemon, and I still haven't worked with them, but I came up with this idea, if I were to design their annual report, like what would I do? Or if I wanted to work with Roxy or Billabong, I just assigned myself little tasks, and this might be for a lot of people in here right now who want to make that transition into their dream job. You have to almost fake it till you make it and assign yourself tasks that you want to be doing, so when it does come time for the opportunity and it lands in your lap, you're ready. So to-do lists, always a go-to for me, and writing things down.
I love that. That kind of ties into sort of like manifesting, but a lot of people say, oh, I'll be happy when I'm running this business, or I'll start working hard once I start making money, or whatever. It's actually the opposite. You gotta act as if you already have the thing. If you want to make a certain amount of money, do the work as if you already have it, and from doing that work, that's how you'll be able to attract it into your life. Or at the event that I was doing on Friday, Kat was there as well, I was talking about—
Which was amazing.
I was talking about how even in old jobs, how I got promotions and stuff was I didn't wait until I got the promotion to act like a manager. I acted like a manager and then got the promotion. And then when I wanted to start Yes Supply too, I didn't say, oh, well, when I start getting paid to do Yes Supply and I start getting coaching clients, and then I'll be inspirational. I got to be inspirational first and come up with great content so people start to see me as an expert, and then sort of the money comes in and you turn it into a business.
What I want to share a really useful tool. We just talked about this, but we have email tracking apps on our Gmail. And what this does is if you're a content creator or you do business through emails, which I do. I work with brands on social media, and then I run an e-commerce business, so I have like customer service emails going back and forth. It's really helpful to know if the person you send an email to, if they even opened it, if they clicked on the link, what they're doing. And there are apps that you can install on your end to monitor that activity. The person doesn't see that you can see this sort of information, but for me as a business owner, it's really helpful to know oh, I sent recent email 4 days ago. I want to know if she read it. Is she even open to collaborating, for example? And so I use a service called MailTrack, and it is free up to a certain amount of accounts. And I think you also use it. Mixmax.
Yeah, and it's free, but you have to click something, so I just end up paying for it. If I like a service, I pay for it.
Yeah, I do.
Even Canva, I was paying for it because I was just like, I feel guilty getting this for free.
You should always, and Canva is run by a female, so you can always support female-run businesses.
Yeah.
But I pay for MailTrack too, and this way, MailTrack, their logo isn't in the emails that you send. But that is something that has really organized my emails, because if I'm reaching out to a brand or a hotel or someone I want to partner with, I'm curious to know if they even read it, and if they do, then I follow up and just say, hey, just wanted to know that you got my email.
Okay, so Jenny is asking, can I share the link? So yeah, the first one that I shared is called Asana. So A-S-A-N-A. I just started using it this year, and it's absolutely amazing. Actually, Market Beautifully, if you look her up, she has a whole course on Asana, and it's a really good one. It's only like $30. And it just breaks down. So essentially, when you're using Asana, you're going to have different projects in your business, and you'll be able to organize them in Asana. So even if it takes you maybe a week or two to finish a project, at least you'll always be able to refer back to that to-do list and be like, okay, I checked off step 1, checked off step 2, checked off step 3. And they have these cute little like unicorns.
And that's
that,
on
like,
your laptop. And then your phone.
On your desktop, yeah. And they have these cute little unicorns that like shoot across the screen when you finish things. So that kind of like makes sense.
Okay, so we had a question, and I think I want to tackle this one because it's from Kiss Your Boons, and it says, how do you organize your content? How far in advance do you plan? Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah.
So how I plan my content, I run a personal account, Kat Gaskin, on Instagram, and then I have my business account, which is actually called the Content Planner, which is a physical planner for your blog and social media content. I'm such a traditionalist when it comes to writing down my to-do lists and crossing my goals off and writing down a content plan. So I have a planner, I have it set up so that you can see your month at a glance. And then when it comes to my Instagram captions, my Facebook ad campaigns, and my email marketing, I basically just fill in the days based on any social media marketing dates that are coming up, any holidays that are coming up, things that are related to my business, any sales. I have it right here. So to give you an example, this is what it looks like.
We're both just like,
well, she did ask the questions. I feel like I should answer her. And this is what it looks like inside. So the January spread is like this, and I have written down all my Instagram captions.
So cute. I love it.
My collaborations for the month. So that's how I plan my content. I write it down in my planner.
It's really cute, guys, and there's stickers and there's pens.
Yeah, digital online things don't necessarily work for me. I use those. I mean, I'm on my phone so much already. So for me as a business owner, I like to have that tactile, like, physical experience with my content.
We have a lot of the same people. There's a lot of people popping in saying they have their planner. That's so cool. I love that so much.
Because you have the best community.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So
how do you plan your
I love
content?
that. So what I did was I know what I want to launch in terms of different courses or products throughout the year. And so what I want to make sure that I do is I'm talking about related things before I launch. So like, for example, this month, I launched a new course in the collective all about Pinterest. So if you go back through my free content on my lives the last few days, you'll see that I was talking about different aspects of Pinterest, how much Pinterest has worked for me. Even when I got to go on Gary Vaynerchuk's live stream for a few minutes, I talked about how I was working on my Pinterest course. And like for me, I happened to realize when I was working on it that I spent so much less time on Pinterest, but it actually has so much more bang for my buck in terms of how much traffic it's driving to my website. So I'm like, people need to know this. So it's really, really good to talk about related content that adds value and shows people the importance of what you're doing in alignment with whatever you're launching, so that the people that you hope will buy your product, they see the reasons why it will benefit them and help them. So anyway, throughout the year, I know what I'm launching and when, and then I've jotted down ideas for blog posts and live streams that will come out every day of the week in relation to those launches.
Yeah, and I do the same thing. So I work backwards from important dates. So if I have a product launch, or if I'm launching like a new download or a new printable on my website, I'll put that date down first and then work backwards. So for example, even when I've launched the content planner, It's like, okay, I'm going to launch it on November 2nd. That's the day I need to work towards, and then work backwards from that. So 24 hours ahead, schedule an email. 2 days before, schedule an email, and then keep on just working backwards. I find moving forwards is a lot more overwhelming than just setting your date that you know you have to get towards, and then like
100%. Yeah. When you launch, it's really important to know like when you're launching and when, so you can work backwards from that date. So even in one of my recent courses, Membership Muse, where I was teaching people how to launch their membership site business, we created a full 14-day launch plan. So if they know that they're launching on, the 14th of February, they can work back every single day and know exactly what they need to do on each day. And once you know that ahead of time, then you're not freaking out during your launch. Sometimes I listen to podcasts or videos where people are like, oh my God, launching, so stressful. And I can actually think of both times that I launched a big group coaching program, but I wasn't stressed at all. And I didn't understand why people were stressed. Maybe they're doing things that I'm not. But I feel like if you organize it ahead of time and you just schedule things ahead of time, then all you have to do is really just talk to people about why they might want to buy your product or service.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think launching things has to be stressful, and we're probably proof that it isn't, because we plan ahead and we use these tools and we put them into place now, so that in the future we already know that success is coming towards us because we plan for it.
Mm-hmm.
We have some questions.
Oh, careful.
Oh my God.
It's like not straight.
Okay.
We don't need to go back. Someone's asking, do you have a personal assistant or VA? So yeah, I have 2 VA, one that helps me schedule and just post up my content, and one that is working just on Pinterest right now.
Yeah, and I have one virtual assistant, and she posts to my other business's Instagram, and that's it. I handle everything else. But slowly I'm hoping to assign her more things.
Yeah. Okay. So what else? Everyday Career Girl is putting things in for next month on her planner. Jenny MB would die if Gary Vee called her. Hello Wellness says, I love using physical planners, and the content planner gives you enough space to brainstorm, plan, and write your goals and break it down. That's amazing. Lupe Colangelo says, you two are so inspiring. Thank you. People are saying that they love your planner. Okay, I don't see any other questions.
Okay.
Okay, great. Amazing. Okay, so if you guys do have questions, definitely leave them here. Happy to answer them. So to share some other things that help me stay organized, I use Google Calendar like crazy. Also, actually, before I even get into that, having different tasks for every single day of the week is really, really helpful. So maybe make Monday your writing day, and Tuesday your sales day, and Wednesday your content planner day. I know for me, Thursdays are my calls day. So if somebody wants to schedule an interview with me or a podcast, or wants to meet up with me or my clients, that's happening on Thursday, so that the rest of the week I can just be creative and do what I want to do and be able to think freely and creatively and not be pulled into calls. And then Thursday I put my coaching call hat on and I just go through all those sorts of calls. So I really think organizing your days is really, really helpful, so you know what the theme of each day is. And then I put everything into Google Calendar. So when I wake up, when I go to the gym, when I'm doing my hair, when I'm clocking out for the night, so that because it just keeps me in certain times. And I find that if I have more time, it'll take me more time to do something. So if I say, oh, I'm going to do this today, then for some reason I'm still doing it at 8 p.m. But if I say I'm going to do this today and I want to be done by 2 p.m., for some reason I'll work time and I'll get it done. It doesn't make any sense, but I just need to have deadlines set in and my day scheduled out, and then that way I'll get things done faster. Anything? Okay. Okay, cool. Any tips? Oh, how much is the planner, Kat?
Oh, the planner retails for $59.99 USD, and you can buy it at www.thecontentplanner.com. Or if there are some Share the Love Rewards members in here, you can share your affiliate link and use that.
Thanks for all the hearts, guys.
Yeah, we love
Makes
the
me
hearts.
so happy. If you're here watching, say hello. We want to know you're here. Love all the emojis. If you're watching on the replay, let us know you're watching on the replay. And we'll pop back later and take a look at all the comments and see what you guys leave. So, hi, Kiss Your Wounds. You're asking any tips on branding, photos, brand photo shoots, how to look like a premium brand. So, for me, do you want to go first? Can you go first?
I would say my #1 tip, specifically because you asked how to look like a premium brand, So I want to distinguish between just like your average brand, and I'm assuming it's more of a like a luxury brand if you're calling it premium, is less is more. And lighter colors do better when it comes to having a premium brand and positioning yourself in maybe like a higher price range, or advertising to like a more wealthy customer. Is that what you mean? Just like clarify. Because there's such a difference when it comes to branding for like more of a low budget to a high budget. But for me as a graphic designer, I always think of like clean, white space, small fonts. Hire a professional to do your photography, absolutely. And don't do your graphic designer branding yourself. Hire a graphic designer and make sure that their style is in line with what you want. But that's why I think, because she asked a premium brand. Does that make sense?
When I think premium brand, I kind of think like premium like coaching brand. So I feel like that could be, it could be anything. I think it really depends. Are you selling physical products, physical goods, or do you want you yourself, maybe you're an expert or a coach or a freedom business owner or an author, and you just want to look like you have your shit together. So if that's the case, and maybe you're someone who's a little bit DIY, doing on the budget, and you can't afford a graphic designer off the top, what I would say is at least get your aesthetic in alignment. So go into Pinterest and like make different mood boards, pull out all the things that really, really appeal to you and make you feel good. And then if you feel like you have a few different sort of aesthetics going on, break those into multiple mood boards so you can see them side by side and see what sort of appeals more to you, and then go with that. And once you pick something, just stay on that trajectory. Don't like switch it up all the time, because that's when your brand and your aesthetic gets really messy. And I'm at the point, I did change how my stuff looked as my business grows. I was figuring it out for a long time, and I'm finally at a space where I'm like, okay, I figured it out. I feel really, really good about my brand, about my fonts, about the colors that I use, to the point that I'm pretty sure that if you saw my fonts or maybe my color schemes or the florals that I always use somewhere else without my logo, you would probably think of me. You'd be like, is that Reese's thing? So I actually have a mini course on this in the collective, but if you're wanting to create a brand, try not to have more than like 3 to 5 colors in your brand. 3 is preferable, so maybe like black, white, and a couple other like a primary colors. Yeah.
Primary, secondary, and an accent is how I kind of name them, and then I'll create just in Photoshop or any sort of design program or Canva, I'll just create a style sheet. So this is my font. Maybe just choose one main font and then one secondary font for like subtitles. Don't go too crazy.
Yeah, no more than like 2 or 3 fonts.
Yeah, so 2 fonts, 3 colors. And that's it.
Yeah, perfect. And there is a sample brand board in the collective too, and you can just create that with Canva. So on my brand board, I have my logo. I have my main colors that I always stick to. I actually have a little app in my Google Chrome extensions. I think it's called Color Picker, and it has the exact, yeah, it's a good one. It has the exact hex code of the colors that I use. So if I ever need it, I can just grab it from there whenever I need. It makes it really easy for me. Pick no more than three-ish fonts, so that you're always consistently using those fonts. And I even know which fonts I can use if I'm using like one tool or if it's a web font, because it's a little bit different. And then I like to have my mood board on there as well. So just a few pictures that sort of align to how I want my brand to look and feel. And I put some of my favorite words that describe like me and how I want to feel and how I want the people who come and view my content or read my posts or look at my stuff want to feel too. And always remember, in terms of brand, yes, visual brand is important, but also personal brand is important too. So if you're wanting to build a brand like Kat or myself, we're not just connecting with people like you because we have pretty color schemes or take good photos. The reason why people are so connected to us is because we've really worked on our personal brand. And it's easy because we're just ourselves, but we really do show up and we're vulnerable. We talk about our stories. We try to share like real life experiences. So make sure that you're incorporating the personal brand too. And that's very, very important. Probably even more important than the aesthetic, because when people fall in love with you, they'll follow you wherever, even if you're using like orange and puke green and like a weird brand.
Yeah, and that's true. Even for me, building Salty Pineapple, which is my personal brand, that was always my goal, was to hopefully inspire other women to follow their dreams by sharing my own story. So not everything was handed to me. Like, my success did not happen overnight. I'm still trying to work towards my journey. It's been 5 years now of me working for myself, and I'm still climbing the ladder and trying to be a better person than I was yesterday. But I've gone through a lot of ups and downs, which I'm sure like Reese has too, and a lot of entrepreneurs do too, especially on Instagram, social media. It's really nice to read when people share their vulnerable moments or share when they had a really shitty situation and how they got over it. And it does make you more relatable instead of always showing the highlights. I call them lowlights.
Because lowlights are still nice.
Lowlights are still amazing, and I welcome the failure. I welcome the challenges. It's such a great opportunity to grow, and there are way more people out there who you might not think who are struggling and experiencing the same thing as you. And that's how you build a personal brand, is when you are vulnerable and honest and authentic with your audience.
It's all the different parts of your contour, highlights and the lowlights. And then in terms of photo shoots, Kat probably has a lot on those. On that, obviously I prefer to use a professional camera, and I have one, but sometimes I just take them on my iPhone and use ViscoCam. And if you've got the right filters, which I spend a lot of money on filters, your pictures can look pretty good on your phone.
Yeah, it's a good deal, and you kind of hit all of the points there. Is even if you don't have a professional camera, I mean, I do content creation for a living, so I have a Nikon D750, which is a full-frame DSLR camera. But when I first started, I was using an iPhone 4 to shoot photos for my Instagram. It's all about practicing. You can't really learn something in terms of photography through a course. You have to learn by doing. So by the time I had like 10,000, 15,000 followers, I had already taken probably 40,000 pictures. And you have to train your eye when it comes to photography. If you have no idea what this is, I would just hire someone. There are so many great women out there who run stock photography businesses, who are content creators like me. You can work with them. They're professionals. Tell them your brand, tell them your vision, and they will execute like effortlessly for you. But if you want to tackle it, you can totally do that too. You can use your iPhone. Just make sure you're shooting in natural lighting. What I like to do is shoot beside a big window or a big screen door or an overcast day. And if it's a flat lay, I'll buy like scraps of fabric from the fabric store, or go to the dollar store and buy those cardboard cut-up things that you use for like your science projects.
Oh, yeah. I remember
and they're $1, and you just use those. And then you set up your little flat lay and you take it from above. I like to take between 1 to 25 different shots of the actual flat lay and then just shoot it, look at it, adjust, shoot it, look at it, adjust. And then I edit I also use Visco, but if you want to really up your editing game, Adobe Lightroom is the best way to go in terms of editing.
It's great.
Yes.
Hashtag presets by Mel. Our friend Mel has really good presets. So
Mel Vandersloot has the best Lightroom presets out there. I think she's the OG of Lightroom presets. Yes. And I use them all the time, and I love her Lightroom editing.
So Loho_ is saying, I have a question. As freelancers, where do we go to find a reliable person to help with taxes and submitting HST help? That's so tricky. It depends where you are. It sounds like you're in Canada. I'm using a lady called the Savvy Redhead. She's really good, so you can just find her website at Savvy Redhead. She lives in the V Village in Toronto, where I live. So a little bit of shouting her out there. But I would just maybe go into a Facebook group in your area and just ask people like, hey, is there any freelancers in here who are doing their taxes? Can you give me a referral kind of thing? Because it's really good to just go through people that you trust or you know. And if you haven't already, if you're just starting out, make sure that you create a separate business bank account. We're totally going off track, by the way, but make sure you create
organizing your finances.
I guess, yeah. Make sure you create a separate business account and then put all your business expenses and money coming in on that account, so that at the end of the year when you're bringing everything together, you know, like, okay, I ordered pizza on this card, and then I ordered all these stock photos from it. Like, you just don't want to have to deal with that, so just put it all separately. Thank you for the hearts, guys. It also lets us know if we're on the right track with what we're talking about. So give us hearts if we're talking about stuff that you need that is helping you grow your business.
Another resource is Lisa Zamparo. She is a CRA, and she specifically works with female business owners. She's doing a workshop tomorrow at Make Lemonade, which is my co-working space, and Lisa also works there. So you might want to check that out also.
Yeah.
It's at lisa.zamparo, Zamparo, because I actually have the exact same question, so I'm going to hire her to help me with my taxes.
Amazing. Yeah, and it's so good to just like hire someone where it's their zone of genius so you can do what's in your zone of genius. I remember looking over at my bookkeeper. She came over a few weeks ago to help me, and I was like, you just really love this, don't you? Because like I just can't. Thank you guys so much for the hearts. If you're just joining, say hello. We want to see that you're here. We're having so much fun hanging out with you. And if you're watching on the replay, also say hello. And you can leave any questions for us for later. Everyday Career Girl has a loyalty link, so we can go shout you out. Both of us, awesome. I don't know what we're talking about that. Like looking cohesive and professional. Yeah, so all the things that we talked about then. Thanks so much for the hearts. I love you guys so much. And also I use Canva to create my graphics. People ask me that all the time. How do I create my graphics? And I like love Canva so much.
You can also just use the same Visco filter every single time. That's usually the first step that I give people when it comes to building their brand is go through the Visco filter. So the app is at VSCO, and just go through all the filters, pick which one that resonates with your brand, and stick with that for a while and start to build it.
Oh my gosh, so many questions.
Okay, we'll try to get through them.
Wow, so many questions. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the questions. Keep leaving the questions, and we will try to get through them all. And if we can't get through them all today, we'll still talk about them at some point. By the way, if you guys have not yet, go to my profile and hit on turn post notifications, because I go live pretty much every day. And I do not hold back with my content. Like, I give you really good advice. Do the same for Kat. Go turn on post notifications, because we go live a lot. And we
right here on Instagram, you'll see the ... upper left-hand corner.
Oh yeah, it's a good idea to give the visual, because people probably don't know.
Upper left-hand corner, guys. Right here.
Yeah. Turn on post notifications, because if you are wanting to build a freedom-based business or find your passion turn into business, I got your back. So, yeah. So Inner Bliss Gems, hello girl. So she's asking, ladies, when do you think it's important to be the face of your brand if you are selling a product and not a service? You're the product.
Oh, well, that's a great question. I sell a product. I sell the content planner, which, in case you missed, I gave a little sneak peek about what's inside. And to be honest with you, I am not always the face of my product. So I don't always want to be in my photos. I actually want to show more of my community. But being a startup and being a new business, I had to be the one in the photos. Reese was also in the photos too.
Yeah.
And I think it's all about an equal balance. So you do have to show your face sometimes, especially now. People want to get to know your story and who the person is behind the business. They fall in love with why you do it, not really with what you're selling, unless your product solves a problem. But if you can tell your story and really relate to your customers, then that's the biggest strength in running your business, and that's how you'll attract your ideal target client, is if you show your face. Because I know for me, I like to attract women and work with women and help women with their businesses. So if I show more of my face, I'll naturally attract that in exchange. But if you're not comfortable with it, I would say don't feel like you need to be in every single post. Don't feel like you need to be doing selfies or videos of yourself all the time. I would balance it like a 40-60 split. So 40% of the time, it's you talking about your business, but then 60% of the time, it's more about building the brand and building the lifestyle and speaking to your customers.
Yeah, drop some hearts if you agree with that. That is some really great content. And I know for me, you guys probably won't realize this because I go live every day, but when I first started, I was really shy. I did not want to show my face. I was all about really being passionate about sharing the message that I had to share and sharing my story. But I was like, oh, I don't really want to put my face out there. And I just had all these sort of like internal issues about like how I looked, and then people would judge me and they wouldn't take me seriously, or was I too young, or was I too this, or was I too that? And to be honest, as soon as I started putting my face and my name in my business, my engagement skyrocketed. How many people reached out skyrocketed. How many people signed up for my products and services skyrocketed. People really want to know who's on the other side of it. And like, let's be honest, what's more memorable, a face or a logo? Like, do you walk down the street every day and say, oh, I remember that logo? Maybe 25% of the time. But how many times have I walked down the street and be like, I've seen that person before. I remember their face. If they see your face, you're going to be stuck in their mind, and they're going to remember you so much more. And the more people see you and they get familiar with you, the more likely they are to purchase your products, to sign up for you, to follow you, to buy your books, to buy your services, whatever it is, and to talk about you to other people. This is actually kind of a cool, fun side note, but when you are seeing someone on a live stream, it's sort of producing like almost like chemicals in your brain that make you feel like you're building a relationship with that person, right? So if you're showing up and you have pictures of yourself, or you're doing live streams of yourself, even though me and Kat can't see you, we see your pictures there, and we feel like we know you. We feel like we're talking to you. We remember your names and your faces. There's some girls on this live that like I see them all the time, like Christina and Everyday Career Girl's been here every day this week, and like I see you and I remember you, right? And so if I'm showing up and you see my face, you're gonna remember me so much more. And when it comes time to you, for you to maybe invest in turning your passion into a business, or maybe becoming a coach, or learning how to make money online, because you talk to me every day pretty much, I'm going to be so much more memorable to you. And the same for Kat. If a month from now you're like, oh my God, I need to plan my content, you're going to go find Kat's content planner, or you're going to go see if she's selling courses, right? You're going to remember our face so much more than just a logo. So I think that being the face of your brand is always helpful.
Very important.
Yeah. Great. Okay. I went on a little rampage there. Thank you so much for the hearts, guys. It really lets me know if you're on the right track. Everyday Career Girl is sharing a tip. By the way, guys, if you have productivity tips, share them. We want to know as well. And it's so helpful for the other girls in the community. And Everyday Career Girl saying, I use Note 8 for photos. So cool. Hello Wellness, hi, is asking, do you use Photoshop for edits at one point? Did you use Photoshop?
Yes, I started in Photoshop, and I still use Photoshop now sometimes for very specific custom edits. For example, if there's a giant hairy man on the beach and I'm sitting there in my bikini looking like a badass mermaid, I will take it into Photoshop, take him out of the photo. So do use Photoshop, yes. It's a very powerful tool, and first I'll do like general edits in Lightroom, and then I'll bring the photo into Photoshop.
Oh, Christina Paul went to the Lisa event. Christina went to
Oh, yay!
Inner Bliss Gem says this conversation has flow and it's helpful. Thank you, love. Little Hawaii says, do this more often.
It's like
Christmas. Oh, you're so sweet. That like melts my heart. Oh my God, you're so cute. I love this girl so much. I could literally do this every day with Kat because she's so much
You should
fun.
have a YouTube channel.
Everyday Career Girl. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I just don't ever talk about it. But I have all my old lives on my YouTube, by the way, guys. If you're ever looking for an old one, hit that subscribe button, please. I use Canva all the time for my quotes. Yes, it's a good one. Kat, what should I put in the hit list part of the planner?
Oh, okay. So I get this question.
I
get this question a lot because you've been seen using it too.
Spokesmodel.
So a hit list is something that I came up with, and it's a list of brands, influencers, accounts, anyone you want to partner with, because when I first started out, nobody knew Salty Pineapple. Nobody knew who Kat Gaskin was. But I was so hungry and so excited to potentially work with all of these amazing brands on Instagram. And I knew that even if they could just like one photo or follow me or look at my account, that they would end up potentially wanting to work with me. And that has happened with a lot of my previous clients, is me writing their name down on my hit list and then being like, okay, today I'm going to target Pure Vita bracelets. And then I would tag them in my photo. They would check me out, and then I ended up working with them, and they ended up reposting my photo. I ended up gaining tons of followers. And each Instagram post is actually a huge opportunity to not only get noticed by brands, but tag 20 of them. So not just one. You can tag a maximum of 20 people in each post. And so what a hit list is a list of people that you want to work with, that you want to be featured on Instagram. You can also theme it. So for example, like I'm going to Bali next month, so I'll do a Bali travel hit list with all of the Bali tourism Instagram accounts. And then when I go to Bali, I'll look at my hit list and be like, okay, I'm going to tag all 20 accounts in each of my photos. So maybe they'll like it, maybe they'll comment, maybe they'll repost and follow, or maybe they'll want to have me at their hotel or host me at their restaurant, things like that.
You should create like a wall calendar with like a column for like hit
A big one?
A big one. Yeah.
Okay.
I would have that.
I have it. So I have it in the planner, but it's smaller.
I want a big one.
Okay, just for your reason.
I like stuff. I like stuff
Big.
above my computer. Yeah, I like things big.
I
Okay.
hope that answered your question.
Yay. Hello Wholeness is working on telling her story. Christina is feeling things. I love you. You're so funny. Hello Wholeness. That's why I joined Yes Supply. We're so happy to have you.
Community.
Inner Bliss Gems.
Oh, Kristen is here. The sophisticated gal.
Hi, Kristen.
Congrats on your 800 Etsy sales today.
Ooh, killing
I'm
it.
so
What does she sell?
I don't know what it was. I didn't confirm.
Inner Bliss Gem says advice I needed to hear. Oh my God, the courses. Are you selling courses? They all want to know about your courses, girl.
Well, you
Oh, yeah. Kat will have courses and I have courses.
I will have content planning courses that's coming in the summertime.
Christina says visualization. There's an app for that on iTunes called Ripples. What's the app for? Tell us. Sorry, Retouch. Oh, Retouch. Badass Mermaids, yes. How do you approach the brands you want to work with? Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. How I approach brands, it's been an interesting journey being on both sides of it. So I've been an influencer, I've been a content creator, but I've also been on the other side trying to reach out to influencers and getting inundated with requests from influencers. And I've actually been filing and keeping track of all of the emails I'm getting to show people in my course that I'm creating how not to email people you want to collaborate
We're
with.
going on blast.
Oh, it's so bad, and I just feel so sorry for these people. But my tips are, number one, DM them and email them, and then like 10 of their photos, and then comment on the last photo saying, hey, please check your DM. That's like what I always do, especially for hotels and brands, because you just want to like spam them. And then when you actually craft the message, first, always use their first name. Like, if you can't find the first name, don't use their business name. Don't say, hi, Yes Supply. No. It's clearly Reese.
Yeah.
And don't say, hi, Content Planner. It's clearly Kat Gaskin. So always use their first name. I find this is something that people overlook, but it's so powerful because your name is so unique to you, and if you just go that little extra mile to find out what their first name is, then you'll like get brownie points with them. Then always open up with a compliment. Talk about them first. They don't care about you at all. Think about that. They want to hear about how their business, their product, or their service is helping you. And you just basically have to like fangirl or fanboy over their brand, over their company. And so I always like to include the first sentence as your like specific product is so wonderful. I've used it and this is how it's helped me, etc., etc. Are you ever looking to partner with someone to work with? And then I always end my email with a question so that they have to respond. And I just keep it really short. I don't really give them like my pricing or the details of the collaboration up front. I want to make sure that they're interested and starting a conversation first. So 1, first name. 2, give them a compliment about their brand and be very specific so they know that you crafted like a custom email. And then always end your email with a question about partnering.
Amazing. That was so helpful.
Yeah.
No, I'm not really a brand person, but yeah, I totally agree. Do the research, find their names, and anyone who I have reached out to for anything. It's just like, think about what you would want to read, and also like when you're reaching out to someone, remember that they're running a business, so they also want to know how can you help their business, right? So actually, I have worked with brands in terms of like getting free venues for events and that sort of thing, and yeah. And I just think about like, how is this helping that brand? So if I want a free venue, for example, I'm not saying I want to have an event and it's going to be really great for me and my attendees because they don't care about me because they don't know me. Yeah. So I'm thinking, how is it helpful for them? So am I going to talk about them in a blog post? Am I going to give them shout outs? Am I going to talk about how great their brand is? Whatever it is. Everyone is always thinking, what's in it for me? So don't make them chase you for that outcome. Give it to them straightforward. Show people how you can help them, and believe me, no matter what level you're at, you have value to add. So if you like that, guys, leave us some hearts. Let us know that we're on the right track. This was Kat Gaskin, by the way. So if you're watching and you have not seen her before, where the heck are you? Where have you been? You can go find her at Kat Gaskin on Instagram. And then also she has her content planners that she sells, and you can find it on Instagram at the content planner. So thank you guys so much for the hearts. If you're watching live, it was so fun hanging out with you. And just to the people who are still here at the very end of the live, you are freaking amazing. I have so much respect for people who show up and commit to themselves and come to live streams and get content and commit to their goals, right? Because so many people are just watching Netflix, like complaining about, you know, why they're not achieving their goals or they're out drinking, right? Like you're here trying to learn, trying to do better for yourself, and I have a ridiculous amount of respect for people who are going after their yes in life. So I love you, muses, so much. Thank you so much for attending. Say hello, even if you're watching on the replay. I want to know who you are. And do you have anything to add?
I just want to say thank you.
You're so cute.
And you're live.
Thank you.
That's it. I'm just truly grateful that we get to do what we do, and I hope that whatever works for us, we're going to continue sharing our successes so you can be successful and attract all the abundance and wealth and incredible success
100%.
in life.
Yeah.
That's all we want to do is help you and
100%.
And help you guys succeed. So
100%.
we wish you all the best.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I started this and I was like, I just want to create my yes and show the people how to create theirs.
Yeah.
Simple. All right. Mwah. Love you guys so much. Have a great night. Aloha. Yes, watch the replay. It'll be up in a sec.